New World, a game I've been thoroughly enjoying for the last couple of months. I've put in 168 hours into it since December, which is a net time of exactly a week. I'm personally very keen on this game, but it's necessary to say that New World has been through it all. A promising concept, fancy trailers, high expectations from players, but then subsequently under-delivering and now slowly trying to reclaim its place in the world of MMORPGs. What I mentioned could be studied and talked about for hours on end, yet it's not my aim. Today, I want to have a closer look at something entirely different, an aspect of the game which lies beneath the surface of our conscious minds, which doesn't necessarily affect the gameplay in any way, but still creates a large part of what New World, of what Eternum is. I want to dig deeper into the lore and justify why I believe that New World's take on diversity is refreshing and just works. To get to my point, I need to start from the beginning. So, what exactly is New World? What is Eternum? Eternum is a fictitious island located somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. You, the adventurer, start your journey in what appears to be Europe. The time frame is clear, 17th century. You've heard of a legendary place filled with vast riches and power waiting to be taken by those who dare. But all ships sailing towards Eternum vanished and the sailors were doomed, never to be heard from again. You, however, boldly decide to embark on this dangerous journey with a dubious chance of success. Nevertheless, you meet the same fate. You wake up washed ashore in the New World, which you later learn is called Eternum. Here begins your journey. You're among the few who have survived. Well, at least in sound mind. Some of your peers drowned, but were raised from the dead by an unknown force. Those are now called the Lost. In Eternum, you don't really die. The strange force has changed the nature of mortality. When, and not if, you die, because it's simply just a matter of time, you come back again. The same immortal you. But through the defilement of one's character, or through experiencing a particularly excruciating, traumatic, and violent death, you might one day resurrect, stripped of your soul. For now, I'll put my attempt at storytelling on the back burner. You, the hero of their own story, start realizing that not all that have attempted the journey and were thought to be dead have actually perished. Some, like you, have had the luck to find themselves unharmed. And not only that, people have been coming to Eternum from all around the world for centuries, even millennia. I think this is a wonderful template for creating a story from scratch and including whoever you want. To play devil's advocate, it doesn't even matter whether they came up with the story first, or knew they wanted it to be diverse and then build the story around it. It just works. So why do I like it so much? Well, it's mostly because I'm not a fan of forced diversity, and this is very refreshing to see. What do I mean by that? Let's have a look. Forced diversity is diversity just for the sake of diversity. It's when diversity is introduced in a way that doesn't make sense for the setting. This has been happening a lot lately with all sorts of remakes, and also many sequels. They don't really respect the original source material at all. In general, I believe that video games do a better job at diversity than movies, and why that is might be a concept for a whole another video. But just like any movie which is written carefully and meticulously with proper world building and storytelling, New World works because the creators set themselves up to win rather than fail. Throughout the game, you meet all different sorts of characters with various backgrounds. The Vietnamese, Nigerians, the Japanese, the French, Poles, but even ancient Egyptians and Romans, who traversed from the old world, which is our real world, into Eternum thousands of years ago. In this game, unless you're hyper-focused on race and or instantly reject every attempt at diversity ever made, you don't even notice who the characters are, in terms of looks at least. And that's a good thing. It's very refreshing when the focus isn't put on what they look like, but on who they are and what they want to achieve. And sometimes, you even hear a thing or two about where they came from and their past, but it fits the story and is in no way disruptive. This is the thing about diversity. I've come to realize that many people aren't opposed to diversity per se. Here comes the shocker. Most people just don't care. But most people are also sensitive and are very quick to notice when it makes sense and when it doesn't, when it's sensible and when it isn't. It's simple to see right through it. I feel like the societal expectation for what you can and can't say in terms of being, well, quotation marks, cancelled, or at least piled on in the comments is shifting. Well, unless you're on Twitter, of course, but I wouldn't recommend that. New World has many flaws it needs to work out and work on. The most pressing issue is the dwindling player base, and there are others. But they've done one thing right. They came up with their own story and therefore paved the way for honest inclusivity and diversity. And I applaud them for that. It's refreshing to see this in a world of lazy writing, endless sequels and spin-offs, and also race swapping and gender bending, which I frankly feel like usually serves as the most primitive form of guerrilla marketing in the form of rage bait. It's all the matter of originality and working within the space of the material. Eternum is open to everyone because it is accessible by everyone and because those who dare thrive, no matter what they look like, no matter what gender they are. Eternum will judge you based on the content of your character, and if you fail, you best believe that you will soon see yourself in the army of the lost. Thank you for watching. It took me a while to express my thoughts and compile all this into the video. I'm a small YouTube channel and I'm just starting out, so if you could subscribe, that would help tremendously. I'm so very grateful for everyone watching, and I'm hoping to see you in the next video, be it a commentary like this one, a vlog, or a piece about the architecture in my city. Take care and goodbye.